The next crazy thing that happened to me was in that same Oak Bay apartment. It was actually really terrible. We were living in a 2-bedroom place, and there was a person, obviously people living beside us. It's an apartment, and I unfortunately smell a really bad smell. And I thought, oh, the person next door isn't cleaning their cat litter. And I was really angry that the person next door wasn't cleaning their cat litter because it was getting progressively worse and worse and worse. Well, one morning I wake up to a girl screaming. It was a blood-curdling scream. Like, it really woke me up out of my sleep, and I just heard her screaming. I was like, okay, wait, what's going on? So I go and I walk up to the door, and I'm listening to her. And all of a sudden I hear her say, I can't get in, the door is blocked, and he's laying on the floor. And I realized that she's talking to the cops and on the phone, like 911, and she's conversing with them back and forth about what she's gonna do because she sees the guy, her friend, on the floor. And so they tell her, break the door open, break the door open. So she breaks the door open. This is going to be a little longer, so please tune in for part 2. They tell her, break the door open, break the door open. So she breaks the door open, and she realizes he's passed away, and she's just losing it. Cops came, the ambulance came, like all this stuff. So he passed away from the overdose. Shortly after that, obviously they cleared out his stuff. My roommate's sister was over, and all of a sudden the TV turned on, and she like looked at me and I looked at her, and she's like, did that just happen? And I'm like, yeah. And it had been happening a little bit. Like, the TV was starting to turn on its own. She was pretty spiritual too. And I was like, yeah, I think it's the next door neighbor. And I didn't really think a lot of it. I think I did talk to him a little bit of like, hey, it's cool, like, you know, sorry you're going through that, and you know, whatnot. I didn't sage at that point, which I probably should have, but I was already going through a tough enough time as it was. I ended up moving out of that place probably like less than 6 months, a year later, not even very long. I end up moving, and I move into this new place on East Hastings, Sunrise Hastings, which is further up, and move into this place. All right, this is a little bit longer, so please tune in to part 3. We're living there, and I didn't think anything of it. It's a new building. There shouldn't have been anything going on in it. But I had a few weird instances where weird stuff started happening. First, things were falling and making noises. It wasn't just me that was hearing them. My other roommate, something fell, and we both came out and looked at each other, and we're like, did you hear that? What was that? And it was like something in the bathroom that had fallen. And I was like, I don't feel like that should have fallen. It was pretty big. So it was just weird things that would happen. And I woke up one day, and this is probably the weirdest thing. I guess we have earthquakes on the West Coast, and I thought it was an earthquake because the wall was moving. It was moving. I tried to wake up the person I was with, and I was like, hey, you see this? The wall, what is going on? And it was seriously shaking. And I thought maybe it was an earthquake, but there was no earthquakes that day. They're reported. I was really weirded out by that, and at that point, I was like, I'm gonna do a cleansing of this house, this apartment. And so I went room to room, and I saged the apartment, and I told him, it's time to cross over. Dude, I think he followed me, pretty sure. So I cleansed. Honestly, since that cleansing, I haven't really had a lot of other experiences.